Hi, Rick.
Hi.
Welcome to Essential Stories.
Thank you very much for having me.
It's been a long time coming. I
Mhm.
wanted you on the show for a really long time. So
Mhm.
I'm so excited that you're finally here and we can do this in person,
Glad to be here.
which
Yeah.
is great. So, just for full disclosure,
Mhm.
how do I know you?
I'm your son.
There we go. So, this is fun to be able to have family members to talk about something that we love so passionately.
Mhm.
I don't know if you really had much of a choice when it came to essential oils because you grew up in an essential oil household where both of your parents were using the product. But can you remember your first memory of using an essential oil?
Not really. It's always been kind of a part of my life and whatnot. So, it's always been there kind of a
Right.
thing instead of, it being introduced. It was always been. So,
Like food, water, right?
exactly.
Like
Yeah.
it's all
Anything
part
like
of
that.
the
Yeah. So,
routine.
yeah. So, but I remember always using like Deep Blue and stuff like that. So that's gotta be my first because I guess that's my favorite memory. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So under what circumstances can you
Oh,
remember like
any sports injury I had when I was younger, anything like that. I twisted my ankle a lot when I was playing basketball and whatnot, coming down on it wrong. So yeah, that was a big part of healing process in that. So I used it a lot. So I was used to it.
now did you ever wonder like is this actually going to work every time or did you like what was your confidence level?
Oh, very high.
Very
I
high.
always trusted the product because it always worked. Like
Okay.
again, it was in my life forever. So, it was always like, oh, I need a Band-Aid. Use a doTERRA product.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was always there and it always worked. Always worked.
Now, if you were playing a sport at school or outside of school,
Mhm.
did your friends ever question like what you were doing versus what they were doing?
Well, I mean, it has a strong smell, so people know
Right.
when you're wearing it and stuff like that. But they would always ask questions. But I think that invites people to get into the business, and I think the more questions we get asked, I think the more business we'll have and whatnot, because
Okay.
the more people we talk to. So it was always like a talking point of, hey, what is that you're using, and why is it different from what I'm using? And then from there, it was like, oh, where do I get it? So it was,
And did you find people your age were like open to it,
of course.
skeptical, open
Yeah,
to it? Okay.
open to
So
it. Well, it's a product that can help you out, and so they're like,
yeah.
"What is it?" So it was always a curiosity, but
Okay.
yeah, they're always open to it. Yeah.
That's awesome.
hmm
So besides Deep Blue, what other products do you
Oh,
find that
lemon.
you like? What do you use now?
Love lemon. Lemon's great because you could use it for a lot of different things, and it's fast acting. That and peppermint too. Love
Okay.
peppermint.
Well, I remarked when you came into the house yesterday, I was like, I smell peppermint.
Yep, exactly.
So why do
Yep.
you love peppermint so much?
You could use it for basically anything. I like it for like headaches and stuff like that. If
Okay.
I got like a bad migraine or a headache, rub it on the temples here, on the side of on the front of the forehead, and then you can rub the excess in your head, and it doesn't like stay on your fingers as long.
Oh,
Because the
okay.
essential oils tend to stay on your fingers, so you want to rub it out with like the oil and stuff, canola oil or whatever.
Okay.
But yeah, I love just all that the fresh peppermint in my head when I have a headache. It's nice and cooling and
Okay.
refreshing. You could put it in your water, put it down your throat for a little breath mint or something
Okay.
and whatnot. I also love it for sinuses. It helps me like in the morning. I get bad sinuses, so when like mucus and stuff
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
gets out, all that nasty stuff. Just a couple drops in my mouth helps me kind of clear my sinuses. So
Okay.
mhm.
So coconut. I just wanted to clarify. Coconut oil. Is what
Coconut
you-
oil
yeah.
is what you
Right,
should
not
use.
canola. No,
Yeah,
nobody
yeah,
makes canola oil.
No, coconut oil.
Right?
Yeah, sorry.
Coconut
Mhm.
oil, right? And get it off your fingers. How about water? Should you mix water with essential oils?
I have,
Okay.
and I did find a good experience
What
with
about-
it. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, oil and water don't mix, right? We
Okay.
didn't know that in science class. So,
Right.
it just like if you have peppermint in your eyes and you want to wash them out,
Right.
you wash them out with water. It might amplify the effect of
Okay.
it. Yeah. But no, you just wash them out with fractionated coconut oil.
Okay.
Mhm.
There you go.
Mhm.
All right. And we're noticing a new look for you. You got sort of this beard coming in.
Oh,
We were
yeah.
talking about beard oils. So
Mhm.
it's fun for me to have a male guest on because I have a lot of women that come on, obviously,
Mhm.
and they talk about oils. But Let's talk a little bit about your beard. Like, what are you using, and how
Well,
does that work? And
sometimes I have it, sometimes I don't. But when I use it, I like the adaptive beard oil. It's not
okay,
kind of well known and whatnot, but they had it for a little bit, and that works well. But they also have Midnight Forest when it comes out during December, and
okay,
Northern Escape. Those are really good beard oils, and they kind of just help out in keeping it nice and fresh and not that itchy, like dirty beard.
yeah,
So it kind of, I wouldn't say it helps with like the growth. I wouldn't
okay.
like see any kind of growth. It's not for that, but definitely to keep up with the tidiness and the cleanliness of the beard and whatnot is a
And it
helpful
sounds
thing.
like the scent is very masculine. Like you're
Yes.
not
No, you're not
worried
there.
about like, oh, doTERRA is going to smell girly, or this is only
Well,
for
some guys might
women.
have that
Yeah.
problem and whatnot, but yeah, no, it definitely was like a woodiness, like, that guy kind of almost cologne sense to it.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. So, all right. So we have talked about lemon. We talked about beard oils. We talked about sports injuries.
hmm
What about nutrition? Like, do you supplement any kind of product to make sure that you get energy? I don't know. Or do you use it for sleep? Do you use it for stress? Like,
Oh,
is there any
everything.
kind of like what other things do you like to use?
Oh, we could talk about each
Supplements
oil
for?
for
Yeah.
all those
All right.
things that I use, but for energy, I like the electrolytes a lot.
Okay.
So the new
So
electrolytes that come out,
recharge.
the recharge.
All right.
Yes.
So I always ask this question:
hmm
Are you a lemon lime person, or are you a strawberry person?
Strawberry person,
Me too.
100%.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
no.
me too. Love the strawberry.
Yeah. No, the lemon lime, yeah, it's just too like sour or something
Okay.
for me. Yeah, it's too like
Sharp.
tardiness.
Yeah, I
And
feel
but
like
the
it's yeah.
strawberry really works for me. I love that. So I buy the strawberry. But I
Okay.
like that after a workout to
Okay.
replenish my electrolytes and everything. You could also take it during. I just
Okay.
like it to do after with a creatine shot and
Okay.
yeah, a little protein and whatnot. But
Nice.
I'd mix it all together.
Oh, okay.
And then also I have like an advantage pack to it
Yeah.
just to have like some meta power in my system and whatnot.
Nice. All right. That's excellent. When you're talking with your friends,
Mhm.
what's the okay? So you didn't really have your own gateway product because it was always in your life,
Mhm.
but you probably have a sense of like what other people's gateway products might be. So for you, like what's the easiest product to have a conversation over with your peers? Or I know you do this also as a business. We can talk about that in a minute, but I'm just talking like personally when you're talking with
Mhm.
other friends or people you work with or people you meet anywhere you go.
Mhm.
What do you lead with?
No. Well, even the stuff that we talked about today, the
Yeah.
stuff I use every day in my life is what I talk about. So deep blue, lemon, peppermint, wild orange, anything like that.
Okay.
I talk about that. But I like those because they're fast acting. So peppermint, you feel that relief when you breathe it in your nose and you got that real stuffy nose.
Right.
You feel it, a cooling sense in your head right away with
Okay.
those. So those are fast acting. So those are like kind of other people's gateways.
Yeah.
Is when it's fast acting and they can experience it with you right there and not
Okay.
have to like wait for it to kind of get in their system like other oils,
Yeah.
how they're supposed to work and
Over
whatnot.
time. Yeah.
But those are the real like in 2 seconds you feel a relief. And
Okay.
in 2 seconds you see it happen. Like a lemon
Okay.
on a whiteboard. You see it coming.
Oh,
Yeah.
neat.
So,
All right.
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, I was going to ask, where does the lemon come in? How do you
Lemon
like?
you can use for different properties. I like that as a selling point because you can say, "Oh, I put a drop of lemon in my water," and you can even do that in restaurants, and a lot of people ask for that. So that's a good
Mhm.
business tool.
Right.
But you could also use lemon on like I have like whiteboards all the time that I use work on, and
Yeah.
they have like old markers on some of them. If I don't wash them away for a while,
Oh,
and they get
right.
like that black like
And it
smudge,
doesn't just dry.
and it,
It's not really dry erase anymore.
no,
Yeah.
exactly. So a little lemon on a paper towel and it's white again. And then
Okay.
I can use it, no problem. It doesn't have to like, use the lemon again and whatnot. I
Yeah.
could just use another paper towel and it comes off nice and smooth. So
Nice.
it's a different property, like different scenarios. You can use it for your health, but also for everyday life.
Okay.
So I like the lemon for that. Mhm.
Awesome. Okay. And so I like the idea of people having experience in front of you.
Mhm.
So how do you then what do you do after that experience? Like it's like, oh hey Rick, thanks so much. My headache's gone, dude. I really appreciate it. Bye.
Well, I mean,
Like-
if we're talking about friends and whatnot,
Yeah.
you're always following up with them just to
Okay.
like, hey, how you doing
How you
and
doing,
whatnot.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That
But
has
if
some
this is somebody that like I'm in the gym or something and I'm in the locker room
right.
and I'm using the deep blue and someone asks me a question about it,
Right.
just a simple follow up of, hey, how's it feeling? How you doing? And we get a lot of products, for free and whatnot. So I
Sure.
like to give away some products and whatnot so that people can go home and use it again. And then that's when we follow up with, hey, are you using it? Are you feeling better? Is it working? And
Yeah.
then they're like, yes, oh, great, where can I get it? You know, this and that. So that's
Okay.
where those questions come out.
All right. Are you a social media person? Like, is that something you liked?
I'm
Is
not
that
a
a
big
way that you
social
like to
media
talk about
guy.
products?
No,
Okay.
I'm not a big social media guy. I
You
want to
like
get
that
into it.
one-on-one kind of person.
I think that's the best for the business, and I'm not saying that social media isn't, because I want to get into it.
Yeah.
But right now, it's not a focus of mine for the
Okay.
business, in like the sense of making money and
Sure.
whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's definitely an interest of mine. But I wouldn't say I'm active on social media at the moment.
Right.
Yeah. Hmm.
So, okay, so choosing to take on doTERRA as a way to earn an income, right, as a
Mhm.
career, as a passion, um, as something that leads to other things, like
Mhm.
it's pretty unconventional, right? Like it's not like you go to college, you get a degree, you apply for
Yes.
a
Yeah.
job, you work
Mhm.
for a company, you retire. Like, what gave you the confidence to take a path that's really, I don't know, less popular?
Well, I think even nowadays, like those kinds of jobs are becoming more popular. Not in the sense of like MLMs and sales with DoTerra, but that's also gaining popularity too with the younger crowd and whatnot. But um,
And what's the appeal? Can I just interrupt for a second?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
so, like, what is the appeal to doing this over, like, I don't know, your traditional desk job or like a more
freedom.
freedom? Okay.
100%. What
Like,
I was going to get into and
okay.
talking about is just like freedom of like being able to travel and work wherever you want. So like I can work in my town and whatnot, going to store. I can even work in Switzerland, going to places and people there. Like, and I can go down to Florida. I can go wherever, and I can work wherever. And that's like clocking in. You know, it's the
Okay.
same thing, but I don't trade my time
Okay.
for money. That's where the
So
freedom
explain
comes in.
that, because I don't think sometimes people
Well,
understand how, like, what do you mean by trading time for
Well,
money?
if you worked at a 9 to 5, like any of us, right?
Yeah.
So when you go in, you clock in, and you can't clock in too early, can't clock in too late, right? You got to clock in on the time, right?
Right.
Because that's where you get paid, and
Yeah.
that's they don't want to pay you too much, right? Because
Right.
you agreed to a set amount, so that's how you pay, like change your time for money.
Right.
Now in DoTerra, you are your own boss, so you have to make your own money, right? So
Right.
I can go out and like sign up 100 people and I have all this wealth, but I can go out and sign up nobody and I get nothing.
Right.
And I do like the same hours in doTERRA. I'm in the same time frame, but it's just what you do.
Okay.
So I think if you're a person that's active and actually wants to make more money and not just kind of sit around in a 9 to 5 and
Yeah.
kind of just, all right, I'm here and I'm not really doing much work, but I'm still getting paid,
Mhm.
that's where the difference comes in, because you have to be at the job to get
Yeah.
paid, right? I can be at home, whatever one day, and then tomorrow I can really just put in the hours and sign up all these people and
Right.
whatnot. And then, oh, okay, I can relax tomorrow. I don't need to go to work.
Okay.
It's the freedom of when you want to work, and from where you want to work is how much you'll get paid and whatnot.
And do you find that you are meeting more people who like the appeal of time freedom,
Oh,
travel
absolutely.
freedom, working? I know post COVID, a lot of people got used to working from home.
Absolutely.
And
And a
that-
lot of people have gotten used to kind of just that stationary 9 to 5 jobs. And there's a lot of people like that. But then there's
Right.
a lot of people that are like, yeah, you know what? I kind of want to just get out. And they're kind of tired of that. And they're slowly kind of exiting that, even if they still feel that way.
Okay.
Right. But, I think it's just a laziness almost of just like kind of getting comfortable of like kind of sitting around. And it's not necessarily a bad thing to just like work a 9 to 5. I don't want to say that, but
No.
if there's like an option to somebody that wants to do it and like they're just not doing it, that would be the difference of like, hey,
So you're here to say, like, don't be too scared.
don't
Like,
be
give it a
just-
try.
yeah, exactly, and like just dive into it. Like
Okay.
a lot of times we were like kind of timid and like, oh, well, we give ourselves this excuse, but it's
Yeah.
really to hide, almost like a hidden laziness and a hidden fear of like,
Like
I don't know,
voices in your head
interaction,
saying,
yeah.
this isn't going to work.
Yeah,
or
well, and a lot of
you
people
can't
get
do
scared
this.
of like interaction with people. A lot of people are like, I don't know how to sell to people. I don't know how to do
Right.
this, and they don't understand like sales is just a conversation with somebody. It's
Okay.
not so much like I'm trying to give you a sale pitch one liner. That's not what
Yeah.
retains a customer. Sure, you can get a sale, But then how do you get the sale for the next month with the same person?
Right.
Right? It's a much easier connection if you just talk with them and you just
Yeah.
have a conversation and you ask like, "Hey, how you doing?" questions instead
Right.
of like, "Oh, buy this because it's good for this."
Yeah,
And that.
yeah.
Like, "Hey, what's up? Like, what's going on?" And those kinds of questions make it more personal, and that's what I think trust like the
Yeah. Sounds much
customer to
more
buy it.
genuine than
Yeah,
like
of
walking
course.
around
Well,
saying,
and that's what makes them
yeah.
buy the next month, right? And
Right.
that's not what makes them buy just that month, but the next month because they actually like the product and they want what they want, right?
Right.
Because somebody could want peppermint, somebody could hate peppermint. That means that peppermint's not for them, so they need something else.
Right.
But there's a product for everybody. But that's what's cool about our company is we can sell to everybody.
Right. Okay. So is there an oil you really don't like? I mean, because there's so many. Have you tried them? Have you tried them all
No,
by now?
no,
Okay. Okay.
no. I definitely
All
haven't
right.
tried them all, but I do know one that I wasn't a big fan of in the
Okay.
smell department, right? And just
Yeah.
the smell.
Yeah. Well, they all smell differently,
Well,
right?
and this product is great for your skin and everything,
Okay.
and it's new. And
Okay.
Miss Emily's gonna hate me for
Oh,
saying
okay.
this, but it's the Blue Lotus. I'm not a
Oh,
big fan of
not
the
a big
smell
fan.
of Blue
Okay.
Lotus.
I
Yeah.
love it. That's
Yeah, a
funny,
lot
yeah.
of women love it, and it's a great thing. But it doesn't
For
do
your skin,
anything
yeah.
for. And it's great for your skin, but
Right.
I
But
just
it's like
I
no.
am
Mhm.
not a big fan of the smell of it. Yeah, but it's
Okay.
great product for
Okay.
your skin and whatnot. It's just the smell.
That's
It's
not
just
you.
not for me. Yeah, and there's a couple other stuff like that. I feel like the taste of it
Yeah.
and whatnot is a little strong. It's not like ooh, I like it, but I
Right.
know it's good for you, so
Sure.
you take it. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, the Blue Lotus is not for me.
Not your
Yeah,
thing. All right. So we have toothpaste now in two
Mhm.
different flavors. We
Yeah.
have Super Mint,
Supermint
which
and
is a
On Guard.
blend of different mints, and On Guard. Do you have a preference?
Supermint.
Super
I mean,
Mint.
I've been
Okay.
dying for like a minty toothpaste from
Right.
doTERRA forever.
Yeah.
The On Guard's great, for the mouth, the mouth, but we have On Guard mouthwash. So
Right.
you just have Supermint and then On Guard mouthwash, and that's the
Okay.
perfect combo. I
There you
love
go.
that. Yeah.
All right. I love that. Um, is there some product at doTERRA that you think people should know more about that they're not using enough? Like I'm always worried sometimes that we have these hidden gems that people don't know about, and then if we don't get enough sales, they're just gonna say, "Well, nobody wants this."
True. Well, I think a lot of people know like kind of about MetaPower and adaptive and stuff like
Uh-huh.
that, but it's not talked about as much as it should be because
Yeah, I feel like when adaptive first came out, there was a bit of a buzz,
it's a
and
big
then
boom and then it kind of
and
went
then it kind
nowhere.
of went down. But you've and actually your sister too have both been big proponents of adaptive in
Oh, yeah.
different ways. Like I feel like you use it differently. So why was adaptive created? Why was adaptive, created? And who do you think should be using it?
Well, I went to the Blue Diamond Summit that in Hawaii where they came out with it officially,
Okay.
like right before the product came out,
Right.
and
Uh-huh.
it was designed for PTSD, like war PTSD, severe patients, and
Okay.
like coming back with like severe PTSD,
Okay.
and then like they designed the product adaptive for that, and then they realized, okay, well, you don't really need like severe
You don't have to be
PTSD.
in war,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. You don't have to
have a
like
kind
a
of war
grenade blow off
experience.
next to
Right.
you
Like we all have a
use the
little bit of
product.
trauma in our lives.
Well,
Right? Different things.
of course, and that's is what helps out with like just stress and anxiety. But I think a lot of people tend to like gravitate towards serenity more towards that.
Okay.
Than
So which is part of our sleep system.
it's I like
Yeah.
serenity for sleep more than just dealing with like if someone's really anxious or
Yeah.
stressed out or anxious like anxiety driven.
Yeah.
Then I think adaptive is more
Roll
the
on,
product.
pill, or oil?
Pills. Yeah.
Okay. So it's not it's an oil pill, right? So
Yeah,
it's a capsule
it's a capsule.
of oils.
Mhm.
Now, when you swallow it, do you taste it?
No.
No,
Mm-mm.
which I think is great.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So you don't taste the oil going down because it's not the best tasting. But
Doesn't have to be
it
because it
doesn't
does
have to
its
be.
job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But it's internally in your
Right.
system. That's the best way to get it. So a lot of
Okay.
people are like, oh, pills are bad in this,
Yeah.
but doTERRA pills like are 100% natural. So
Right.
it's not a narcotic.
Right.
It's not a narcotic.
You're at like addict. So if you stop taking them, it's fine.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Right.
And I'm not addicted to it, so
Right.
it's not like I'm
Right.
gravitating
And
to
you don't
like
have to
I
take,
need my
like,
fix of adaptive.
If I take one today, do I have to take two tomorrow?
No,
Yeah.
exactly.
Like, because it's not going to work anymore.
Well, no, and it should be constantly in your system, like introduced in your system. But
Yeah.
when it becomes that, then when you're okay, then you can slowly come off of it and
Okay.
then see how you do. From
Yeah.
that. That's the whole point of doTERRA is to introduce it in your system to
Yeah.
help you where you need it, and then all right, maybe I take one less today or I do whatever, and then if you can handle that, then
Yeah.
that's okay. But you kind of slowly wean off of it.
Right. I know that happened with me and your dad with trice.
Yeah.
Right. Like bad, especially cats. We both had like really bad cat allergies, and then
I remember. Yeah.
taking it and taking it. And
Oh, you
taking
need
it.
it, yeah.
Yeah.
Go to Uncle Ed's.
Right. Yeah. Remember that?
Of course.
Like,
Yeah.
wait a minute. Can't go in the house.
You
yet.
can't go in the house. Yeah. You
And we
gotta
love
take
their
it.
cats, by the way. So it's not, they just don't react well to us.
No,
so.
no. Yeah.
That-
So, but
that's-
trice fixes that.
Yeah.
And that's it.
So that's pretty
And a
cool.
little bit of lavender. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I like putting lavender and even like a little bit of peppermint because sometimes close to your eyes.
Well, peppermint with
can
the
be-
sinuses
yeah.
and just anything like that, congestion. I love peppermint. for
I've
that.
even put lavender like under my tongue.
You
in
can.
in a bat, like when I'm really desperate.
When you really need
and
it,
my
but then
sinuses
it
are
gets
bad.
into your system a lot faster.
faster.
So that's why I love the pills for doTERRA.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's really, really cool. Okay, so you've traveled lots of places with doTERRA. What's your favorite place to travel to?
For doTERRA or
Yeah.
just in general?
Oh, you can tell us both. Yeah.
Well, I love Italy and Rome and whatnot. I want to
Okay.
go over to Italy and Rome, but Switzerland has my heart. I
Oh,
love Switzerland.
really?
Yeah,
Oh.
the culture and like they just have wacky random stuff for an American to kind of see
Yeah.
and whatnot. And it's I love that
You love
culture.
that.
I just fell in
Okay.
love. Yeah.
And so you're working there to try to build your
Yes.
business. there
Yeah.
as
So I'm
well.
working in a little town, Vatsahusa, out there,
Okay.
like right up in the northern part of Switzerland, and that's where I'm kind of growing my roots out there and branching off.
And what do they think of this oil American coming over?
Oh, they love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, charming fella. Yeah. No, they love it. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite Swiss word?
Oh, well, there's a lot, but
Something you can say on.
no, esquent is just good.
Esquent,
Yeah, but it's
esquent.
just like kind of
Okay.
like a weird kind of saying because gut is like the real German word, but
Right.
there's just squent.
Right.
It's like you're kind of squishing something. But yeah, no, their language kind of like mushes like kind of stuff together, which German already does. But yeah, they got their own stuff. Yeah.
Do you find that the Swiss gravitate toward different oils than Americans?
Well, there's definitely cultural like differences that they like a lot more. I think tea tree, I don't know, a lot in
Yeah.
there. They use a lot of tea tree, I heard, and I didn't use a lot of tea tree until I kind of
Okay.
went over there, and
Oh,
then got it used it for a lot more stuff.
Yeah.
But tea tree they used a lot, and clary sage they also
Okay.
used a lot. I heard, and then well, just a regular peppermint, lemon,
Yeah,
serenity,
so that you have in
stuff like
common.
that. Oh,
Right,
of course, yeah. Well, I think anybody just needs that. So I
Sure.
think it's like a human connection of just needing those products because everybody has like
Right.
congestion one day. Everybody has a headache.
Yeah.
Everybody has like a lemon in their water, right? So they know
Right.
what that tastes like. It's using those different products. I think all collectively in the same way. So it's more the human connection that
Sure.
drives us. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fun.
But I do like when I go to Asia, I was surprised. Like everybody loves oregano, which sort
Oh,
of surprised me.
yeah.
Because I was like, well, oregano's kind of strong,
It's really strong.
I'm like, oh, but it's so good for this and it's so good for that. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So I learned to love oregano by
Oh, from
traveling,
yeah,
right? Like
of course, yeah.
more than if I would just grab it on my own.
Mm-hmm.
So I like the travel part.
Yeah.
I think
Well, it
it
educates
does.
us. Yeah.
It educates us. It does a lot of really good things. All right. Well, I can't believe our time is kind of running. Running low. We kind of talked about your favorite products this year. Before we get into our rapid fire questions, a la Actor Studio, is there any other things you wanted to talk about, stories you wanted to tell, or anything you wanted to mention, to the audience?
No, I mean, I think we talked about a lot of great
good
stuff.
stuff,
Yeah,
yeah.
but just using and talking about the products that you use every day in your life is the best business tactic I've ever used.
Okay.
And just like
Be
if you
genuine.
don't,
Yeah.
if you don't know a product, hey, I know somebody that does. There's always somebody in your upline that knows what's going on. So contact your outline, questions. There's not a stupid one, and then yeah, just be genuine about what you use. Don't be like, I use frankincense all the time. Like, I don't use
You don't,
frankincense.
right?
I feel like I use it. I should,
Yeah.
and there are instances that I use frankincense,
Right.
but like I'm not frankincense every
That's not
day,
your
right?
thing.
So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not going to talk about it all the time.
Okay.
So, but yeah,
Amazing.
just be genuine. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Excellent. All right. You ready for these questions?
I'm gonna try. Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. Ready? What's your favorite smell?
Orange,
Okay. What's your least favorite smell?
quinoa, mac and cheese.
That's a little story about that. What brings you the greatest sense of peace?
Quiet.
What irritates you the most?
Eating quinoa, mac and cheese.
Can you tell I made him quinoa and mac and cheese as a kid? It was traumatic.
Oh, it was terrible. Oh, it was terrible.
What's your favorite? Oh no, here we go. Sorry. Um, what's your favorite character trait in a human being?
When they don't feed you quinoa. No. Trustworthiness. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Being able to trust somebody.
Trust somebody.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite guilty pleasure?
Sitting down with a whiskey and a cigar. Yeah.
Ah, nice.
Mm-hmm. Being lazy.
What's the last food you like to eat? Oh, what was the last food you'd like to eat before you die?
Oh, I had it recently. Lasagna. Love lasagna. Yeah.
We just made lasagna. That was good. If you had a magic wand, what illness would you eradicate first?
Cancer.
Cancer.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Affects a lot of people.
Yeah.
All right. Now, if I give you $500, you can only spend it on one thing, so you can't break it up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What would it be?
Couple shares of Nvidia stock.
I got a tip today. What one word would you like to leave the audience with today?
Bye.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you soon. That was good.